Welcome to the animated recap. In this video, we recapped the adventure and fantasy movie named The Pirate Fairy that was released in 2014. In the start of the film, we see a fairy who was named as Jarina. She resides in Pixie Hollow with other fairies. This place is beautiful. We watch Jarina and her friends leaving for work. Because they are in charge of packing the pixies' magical dust, which needs to be handled carefully, they are referred to as dust keepers. Despite the fact that they are not allowed to do any form of experiment with dust, the main character of the film, a fairy named Jarina, is present among them all. She is always looking for answers to questions about pixie dust. She also asks her friends whether we pack up and leave. It stays the same. If you throw it at your head or another object, it begins to move. As I apply it to my hair, it suggests that my hair will fly around. When the fairies hear this, they say, yes, this pixie dust works in this way. It will happen for that reason, but she also brings up the why. The supervisor eventually showed up. He asserts that in order to safeguard the Blue Pixel Fairy, one of the fairies must get ready. He has been informed that this fairy has not appeared today. Jarina is overjoyed to learn this, but the other fairies are baffled. She is relieved because if the fairy is not there, she will certainly be contacted. Due to the defense provided by Blue Pixie Dust, it happens in the same way. Jarina is escorted out of the area by the supervisor. Whenever Jarina makes use of Blue Pixie Dust, she keeps asking why the supervisor wants them to use such a tiny amount of blue dust, among other things. Why not make it bigger or smaller? She was told by the supervisor that we shouldn't do any research with this pixie dust before or after. Do whatever you have asked of me. The next scene has Jarina with the supervisor. She was suggesting that we test pixie dust to the manager. In response to his refusal, she asserts that several hues, such as purple, pink, and orange, are as acceptable. Hearing this, he declares that it is not feasible. I have never seen any pink pixie dust because there isn't any pixie dust in this color. If it isn't already there, she claims it can be made. The boss tells you not to say something. As I have already said, we don't have any pixie dust trials. It is quite powerful and may have negative effects. Jarina has returned to her home, as seen in the scene that comes next. She was also conducting various tests with that blue pixie dust that she had with her. She lists the trials that resulted in successful and unsuccessful outcomes in her book. She starts an experiment again because she has a thought in her head. Her unique orange pixie dust, which has never been generated before, occasionally appears. Later, she visits Tint, her friend, and gives her the orange pixie dust she made. As she goes on, she produces pink-colored pixie dust. After viewing everything that has happened, her friend is also shocked. She tells her to stop immediately now because it's too soon to do any extensive investigation on the subject. She tries to pause, but cannot, and stutters as she speaks. A plant is covered with blue fairy dust. The strategy grows cumbersome with time. This plant grows to be a sizable tree. This grows to such a size that it significantly harms many things in Pixie Hollow. Everybody feels terror. The manager, though, is sympathetic and goes to see Jarina. He tells her, I have warned you not to tamper with the pixie dust, but you didn't listen to me. You are no longer a dust keeper because doing so would cause you to incur considerable losses. This greatly upsets Jarina, who packs up all of her experiments and departs. The scene is then seen a year later. The fairies are all showing their talents during a festival in Pixie Hollow. A buddy of Jarina's notices her after she sneaks in here. The pink dust she spreads over everyone makes the fairies all fall asleep. Jarina later flees the location after getting the blue pixie dust, the strongest pixie dust. She takes it, then leaves the area. Jarina's friend has seen her, so before leaving, she locks them as well. They were ultimately let go. These fairies are quite worried about Jarina's escape after consuming the blue pixie dust. Considering that the blue pixie dust is what actually makes the fairy dust fly, if Jarina has taken any, the fairies won't be able to soar. The fairies conquer that we must track down Jarina and rob her of the blue pixie dust. They discover that Jarina is in possession of the blue pixie dust as they all start to chase her. The dazzling glow of the dust helps them find Jarina with ease. They spy a blue, shining item, and when they recognize it as Jarina, they begin to pursue her. They later see Jarina heading toward a ship. These fairies thought that the several pirates on board the ship might have kidnapped Jarina, possibly coerced her into taking the blue pixie dust. But as they approach the ship and get closer to the pirates, they hear their conversation. They learn that Jarina has been named their captain and is assisting them on a voluntary basis. They steal some of her blue pixie dust because they feel so bad, but Jarina pursues them and eventually summons the colorful pixies to attack them, knocking them out. When they awaken, they find that their powers have been exchanged. Those with water power can now use animal power. People with light power also have garden power. They are currently unable to make effective use of their abilities. The fairy unintentionally smashes the crocodile's egg on the opposite side as Jarina joins the pirates. The fairy becomes the baby crocodile's mother after he hatches from the egg and begins to love her. At the film's final, we will see a sizable chunk of this crocodile's help to them. Later, after reaching the ship, the fairies approach it. By listening to the pirates converse, they discover how Jarina met them. They assert that before realizing their life's purpose, they were wandering around aimlessly. Their lives are changed when they subsequently encounter Jarina. Jarina has informed them that she is capable of making both them and their ship fly. Since they were pirates, they thought that after plundering the entire world, they could fly toward the sky, where they would be impossible to capture, and the fairies would also find their camp. They also learned that Jarina built a special pixie dust tree for them. Jarina had made the decision to accompany them now that the fairies were aware of their plans. The fairies try to take their blue pixie dust though. When Jarina was collaborating on the blue fairy dust with cabin boy Hook. In the interim, these fairies are ingesting the blue pixie dust. Do you remember Hook, the lodger? He also has a significant role in the movie's plot. After ingesting this blue pixie dust, the fairies desire to return. Since the fairies aren't trained in how to wield their powers appropriately, we have already stated why they were switched. They are also identified because they had abused their power. Later, Jarina is instructed to go back to the Pixie Hollow, where you reside, by a friend of hers named Pink. You are not supposed to be here. But Jarina dismisses her and promises her that I won't be coming back. She knows that nobody will laud her skills there, so she says. Jarina asserts that as a result, I will never visit there. Later, she imprisons each fairy. Despite the fairies' best efforts to free them, they are captured. A stone was kept within the cage where they were imprisoned. Jarina and the cabin boy are shown in the situation below since they are unable to leave that location. Once Jarina flings some dust his direction, he begins to fly. The boy also smiles after learning that her attempts were successful and begins to soar around the cave. The work done on long-term initiatives has produced fruitful outcomes. The cabin boy, Hook, hurries to tell his friends that he will also be affected by whatever happens to Jarina. You see, I can fly, and you will too. As they are conversing, he catches Jarina. It suggests that he was deceiving Jarina. The cabin boy now refers to himself as the captain instead of Jarina, who was once referred to as their captain. There, Jarina and the fairies are already detained. The turning point of the narrative occurs with the entry of the baby crocodile. As we have seen, he considers one of the fairies to be his mother. He helps the fairies and liberates them. The fairies travel there in search of the blue pixie dust. They learn that Jarina has been locked from Hook, the boy. He threatens to throw Jarina into the ocean if the fairies don't return the blue pixie dust. The fairies must now compellfully give him the blue pixie dust in order to save Jarina. The cabin boy nevertheless throws Jarina into the sea. Jarina is saved by all the fairies working together, and she also realizes her error. She is going to get back at Hook right away. On the other hand, pirates are portrayed as longing to fly. The pixie dust is sprinkled on their ship, causing it to lift flight. In the direction of the second star, pirates begin to move. The fairies are given the order by Jarina to change the ship's side. If the ship goes to the second star, we will never get the blue pixie dust back. Jarina claims that I must battle Hook while the other fairies must battle the other pirates. The fairies are now fighting with the pirates because if the ship reaches the second star, the pirates will rule the world. Later, it is possible to see the young crocodile that has reached out to help the fairies. In the future, these fairies are eventually captured. Jarina, on the other hand, wants Hook's blue pixie dust for herself. The pivotal moment happens when Jarina flings a blue pixie dust drop at Hook, which the pirates initially think will give them the upper hand. This was the lone drop of blue pixie dust after the yellow and blue pixie dusts mixed. Later on, Hook, the cabin lad, begins to fly strangely. After Jarina releases all the fairies, the pirates are later cast into the water. They were held accountable for their mistake. Later, when the fairies prepare to leave, Jarina is seen returning their blue pixie dust to them. Her buddy wants her to stay with us till she can go back home. When she heard this, she grinned. All of the fairies are later seen leaving the ship and entering the Pixie Hollow. When Jarina threw the pixie dust at the sleeping fairies, it made them all awake. When the fairies first see the big ship, they are all a little taken aback. When the manager sees Jarina, he smiles. Jarina also wished to apologize to him and promised never to play with pixie dust once more. During the course of their chat, her friend interrupts her and urges her to share her talent with everyone. Regarding the ownership of the stage, she has also been questioned. Jarina surprises the fairies by demonstrating her talent as the film comes to a finish. The fairies all seem to be happy. The movie ends when it is shown that they are happy with her. Thanks everyone for watching this video. Please let us know in the comment section that what new movies we should recap in next videos. To watch more interesting animated movies, please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon.